Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Bridge Builders of Diversity here on this great summer day.
It is beautiful out here. We are joining you from out in the beauties of nature,
Yes.
on the river, enjoying the breeze because it's stifling hot inside.
Yes, even though the AC's
Yes,
going.
we've got our hair, we're looking a little frizzy. It's very hot.
But today we're going to talk about the R word, which is...
I liked your idea. Why don't you share the idea that you had?
My idea is the R word that we're talking about is retard, that people with disabilities do not appreciate that term. And then Rose's Law came along in 2010.
2010.
When Obama signed into law that would be replaced with intellectual disabilities. So my thought is that we should change the R word to respect.
Respect. I really dig respect because it is respectful to call someone what they want to be called.
Right.
Whether it's their pronouns, whether it's their name, or whether it's their qualifying condition or their unique ability.
Right. Or if they don't want a pronoun or they do want
a pronoun,
yeah.
right.
We should respect everybody.
So let's change that R word
to respect. Yes, absolutely.
But in the meantime, my name is Roberta and I'm a special education teacher. And this is Sherry, and she's the mother of
this wonderful young man.
Human.
Right here, Nathan, who happens to have Down syndrome.
Right, so let's go back in time. Let's do a little history.
Oh, wow, he took a picture of me. Pretty cool. He loves to take pictures, by the way.
And that's a nice picture. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's go back in history to the year 1426. And the first known recording, way back to 1426. And the term retard came from the Latin root retardare, which means to hinder or make slow. The English adopted the word and used it as a similar meaning to slow or to delay. In other words, to retard someone's progress, or flame retardant. So it stops the flame or it holds it back and it makes it difficult for the flames to catch.
And I believe that's also in bread too, not the one that's in the fire stuff.
Hopefully not the same one that's like
but there's
on
some
my
type
blanket
of retardant in bread too.
that stops it from spoiling.
Something or
so it
exploding.
Holds it back from.
Not too familiar with that term, but I know it's
We're
in
not
bread.
Bakers here.
No.
We are not bakers. So the word decelerate eventually took over for the word retard and replaced it. Like we want to replace it with the word respect.
Yeah.
So why is it a slur?
Yeah.
Good question, Nate. Why is it a slur? Well, here's what started to happen. It was a clinical term used in the 50s and 60s.
I go home and try and a bed.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
We're going to go home in a little bit.
Do it.
But don't go home now. We want you here.
What's the pie carrot?
It was a medical term used in the 50s and 60s and even into the 70s and 80s to describe someone with limited intellectual ability. But then, all of a sudden, it became a form of hate speech, referring to someone as a tard. Cool.
Not cool.
Not cool at all. In fact, that's a giant bummer. People want to be, number one, called by their name.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to use a term to describe their abilities, I might say intellectually disabled. But even then, I get a little frustrated with that word disabled.
Right.
Because that implies that they're not able, because disable, you put those two together, put the prefix with the root word, it implies that they're not able to think intellectually, and that I don't think is entirely true.
Nathan wants to join us. Come on, buddy.
So while the term intellectual disability is preferable to retarded, it's still not ideal. So here we go. So back in 2010, all the way back, 12 years ago, President Obama signed what's called Rose's Law, which changed the term mental retardation to intellectual disability. So if you happen to have an ancient IEP laying around, you might see a box on that IEP that says mental retardation as a qualifying condition. That was eliminated and changed to intellectual disability. And in some places I've heard the term cognitive impairment, which I prefer to intellectual disability, but that's just my preference. Again, because of that disability. Just because someone moves at a different pace doesn't mean they don't move.
Right. And can I also add something in here?
Absolutely.
Like if Roberta and I are making verbal jabs at each other, we're intellectually on the same page, and we can go toe to toe with each other. Not that we do, but
sometimes it's fun though.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun. But it's really not fair when somebody doesn't have the gift of speech to use terms that they don't like, because they can't verbally, not that they don't know what you're saying, because they most certainly do. And so when people don't have the gift of speech and you want to keep pushing their buttons, you may get right in the face.
Yeah, or you may not, because they might have better self-control than you do.
True.
And anytime you're being disrespectful of someone, not using their name, I've heard people purposefully mispronounce people's names as a way of needling them or jabbing at them. I've also heard people purposefully misgendering people to jab at them or take a swipe. Right. That's not what we're about here. And what we want is a kinder, gentler, more respectful society. So in order to do that, let's start by taking the R word out of our vernacular, unless we're talking about flame retardant or the retardant in bread.
Right. Let's replace it with respect.
Yes, indeed. Let's replace it with respect.
Chicken.
The chickens. What are they doing? Are they sleeping? Oh, those chickens.
Yeah.
Okay,
so, sorry.
If you like our content, I know this was a little heavy, but we just felt it was time to bring it up again and discuss how language changes and evolves and becomes more respectful. Let's change and evolve in a positive way ourselves as people.
Yeah, language actually changes over time. I did a whole report on the last 100 years. Pretty fascinating. Just like I can't wait to see in 50 years what all this texting and stuff does to our language.
What is it going to do to our language? It's going to make things like BRB and LOL like
right in the dictionary.
Part of our language.
But anyway, if you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. We're bridging the gap between the disability community and the typical community, trying to bridge that gap so people have a better understanding of the disability community. All right, so let's replace the R word with respect. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you.